Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Keith here again. And in this video, I want to show you 9 commands that are basic commands in a Linux terminal environment. Um, so the first thing I want to get started with is I have a notepad editor open here, and it is the list of the 9 commands. So we're going to start at the very top. So we're looking at PWD, and this stands for Print Working Directory. So I have my terminal open. It's called Git Bash, and it's right here. All right, so in here I'm gonna type PWD because, like I said, I just have it open, so I want to see where I'm at, and that's what this will do. It'll show you where you're at on your machine. So, all right, so we type PWD, press enter, and then it gives us back the working directory that we're currently in, and it is the absolute path to it. Okay, so just a note on this one, this is one that you'll use often because you want to know where you're at all times, as far as, especially if you're starting to make changes or anything like that. um, you want to make sure you're in the right place and working on the right thing. So all right, so we'll go to the next one. And this one is ls. This is another one that you'll use often to be able to list the contents that are located in the current directory you're in. So if I type ls and press enter, alright, so we hear the files that we have in here. We have 2 files, and it's command.txt, which is the one we are looking at our commands in, and then we have the actual post for this video that is in text format in a Word document file. So, all right. So the next one that we have, CD. Okay, so we're going to use this one quite often if you're working in this environment, because this is how you move. This is how you get from one folder to the other, one place to another. So um, let's say that I want to CD into the uh, directory before this one. So I type CD space and then // and press enter. Okay, so it gives me the feedback it gives me is the directory that I'm in now. So I can type pwd, and we see there that it is going to print out where we are now. We're one directory before where we just were. So if we type cd, and here's just a quick tip, uh, not really a command, but if you type, if you're looking for a file or a folder, so I type cd space, um, the folder that I'm looking for is Linux based commands. So it's the only one that starts with Linux. So if I start typing li and hit tab, it will finish it for me, and if I press enter, I can go right into it just like that. So that's very nice. It tabulates for you. So um, let's see here. The next command is mkdir. So this is how you make a new directory. So the way you do this now, I'm going to show you first. I will show you how to create one folder. So you type mkdir space and then the folder name. So we're going to name a folder called folder1, and then you press enter. Okay, so if we ls, all right, you hear folder1. You see folder1, and we've created that there. Now I'm going to show you how to create more than one folder at a time, and it's basically the same thing. You just separate your folders with spaces. So we just type mkdir space, then we're going to create a folder2, and then space, and then we create a folder3 and press enter. Alright, so now if we type ls, press enter, Alright, so you hear there folder 1, then folder 2, or see it, folder 3. I'm sorry, I have my screen reader on, so I it's reading them out to me as whenever I type ls, it reads everything out. So let me focus in. Yep, so folder 1, then 3, then 2. Alright, so that's how you make a directory. Now, the next command is rmdir. Now, when I say this, I'll let you know if there's a space in between anything. So, but this one's rmdir is how you remove a directory. The only thing I've ever used it for is to remove an empty directory. So, like we have folder 3, if we say rmdir space and then type folder, now I'm going to tabulate because I want to show you this. So I've got fol. Now if I hit tab, it puts folder because there's multiple folders, or there's multiple names in this directory with that uh, word folder. So now I have to type, start typing the T, but I have a folder 2 and a folder 3. So now I need to do the H and then hit tab. Now it pulls up 3. Alright, so in here we have rmdir space and then folder 3. Now if I press enter, alright, and you don't really get much feedback, you ls to check. Alright, so folder 1, folder 2, folder 3 is now gone, and it didn't give us any trouble. Now if that folder would have had anything in it and we would have tried that, it would have said that it wasn't not able to do the make the change because the folder contains something inside of it. So I'll show you at the end another command which I'm saving for last because it is the one that could cause the most damage. But let's continue. The next thing I want to show you. All right, so it's echo. It's a quick way to create a file. I use it all the time to create whenever I'm starting a project or I need to create a new file on the fly. And it's a lot easier than having to go over to the folder. And actually, the work environment I work in now is CentOS, so it's completely Linux based, and there is no graphical user interface. Actually, everything is from the command line. So, but if we come over to the command line, all right, so we're actually going to go into folder 1. So we're going to use the cd command. So cd space and then folder. I'm going to type it out 1. Press enter. Alright, so if we type pwd, alright, we get the feedback of where we're at. We're in folder 1. Alright, so in here, to create a file, we're going to type echo, echo, greater sign, so greater than sign, and this is no spaces, and then we're going to create an index.php. Alright, so we're going to do an index.php, and we're going to do a main.js. Alright, so now we have, if we ls, alright, we see our 2 files. Alright, so now that is how you would create a file in the current directory. Now let's say that we had a folder, so we want to make a folder, mkdir space, and then we'll say sub folder 1, press enter. Now we'll ls. Alright, we see our subfolder is there. Okay, so now if we type, let's say we wanted to create a main.sub.js, so but we wanted to put it inside of that subfolder from here. So we would type echo greater sign and then the name of the file, or the name of the folder we want to go into. So subfolder, and then 1 slash, and then we want to type the name of the file we want to create. So main.sub.js. Okay. Alright, so now if we cd space and then subfolder, press enter, and then we ls, you hear main.sub, or you see main.sub.js. That's what it tells us. So that's how you would create a file in a different place. So from the current directory you're in. So we're actually going to cd and dot space dot slash. That's going to take us to the recent directory. All right. So in here we're going to look at the next command. Let's see. Okay, so the next command we're going to look at is to copy a file. So this is exactly the same as hitting Control C and copying a file and then putting it somewhere else. So what we're going to do is in here we have index.html and main.js. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a copy of index.html. So you type cp space, and then you want to type the name of the file that you want to copy. So index.html. Then you type the name, the location, the name of the file what you want to name it. So of the new file, the copied file. All right. So like I said, the location. So if you just go ahead and type in the name, so we're going to go ahead and type in index.copy.html. Now I've just typed in the name. If you press enter, oh, I had something already in the screen. So cp space, then index.html space, and then we're going to create it in this same directory, index.copy.html. I'm okay, so it picked up the same name. I'm not sure why. Oh, okay, that's right, that's right. So you cannot name it the same. I thought I did type it. So let's ls. All right. So I'm gonna type cp space and then the name of the file index.html, and then we want to rename it index.copy.html. Oh, that's silly of me. It's index.php. So uh, we're going to um, copy index.php. So it's cp and then the name of the file index.php. So that's a good way to show you what happens whenever you get something wrong. So but it's a learning lesson. So what you want to type, cp space the file name you want to copy, then space again, then you want to type index.copy.php and then hit enter. Okay, so if we ls here, all right, so we see there's index.copy.php with index.php. So let's say that we want to copy main.js. We want to copy it into the subfolder, but name it copy or main.copy.js. So in order to do that, you would type cp and then the name of the file you want to copy, so main.js, and then so it's cp space main.js space. Now we want to do our location so it's subfolder 1 slash, and I just tabulated that by hitting tab, and then we want to type the name we want to give it, so main.copy.js. Alright, so if we cd into the subfolder and we ls, alright, so main.copy.js and main.sub.js are here. So let's cd // to get back to our recent directory. Alright, so now let's look at the next command. So mv. So this command is similar to copy, but its copy is independent from the file you copied it from. It's original. So mv is more similar to the cut command that you can perform with a click of a mouse or your keyboard. So what we want to do, so mv, two things I use it for: to rename and to move a file or folder from one location to another. So let's say that I'm in the folder 1. Now let's say that I want to move main.js to, or I want to move we'll move main.js to folder 2. But first I want to copy it. Then we'll go to we'll copy it, then we'll go to folder 2 and we'll rename it, and then we'll also move it. Alright, so what I'll do is cp, so we're going to copy and then main.js. Okay, and we're going to copy it to, we give it the location // because recent directory, and then folder 2, and then / and then give it its name. So main dot copy, and we'll do .2.js. Okay, so now if we cd, and first before we do that, I actually want to go ahead and use this mv command to actually move index.php into folder 2 as well. So if we type mv space and then the folder or the file we want to move, so it's index.php, and then we space and then we type the location / folder 2 / and then the name we want to give it there. But we have to give it the same name, so index.php. Hit enter. Now here's what I want to show you: ls, hit enter. Alright, so now we don't see index.php, but we still see main.js, and that is because we basically cut index.php from here and pasted it into folder 2 as index.php, and we copied main.js as a different file into folder 2. So now we're going to cd .. and then folder 2. Okay, so in here we want to ls. Okay, and you hear index.php and then main.copy.2.js. So now with the mv, you can also rename. Now let's say we want to rename index.php to index.html like I originally thought. So we can type mv and then the file you want to change, index.php, and then we space, and then we want to type the new name we want to give it. So we're going to give it the name of index.html. Hit enter. Now we ls. Alright, so now we see we have index.html, main.copy.2.js. So I want to make sure. Alright, so I want to go back to CP because there was one thing I wanted to tell you whenever you are copying a folder. Okay, so if we cd space .. into our recent directory, we ls. Alright, so we hear folder 1, folder 2. Now let's say that we go into folder 1 and we want to copy subfolder 1 into folder 2, but we want to name it subfolder 2. Now we have to use a flag called -r, and it's recursive is what it means, and that means that we have to recursively go through and do the command that was given until there's nothing left to do it on. So what that means is it will go in to this folder, not only copy the folder itself, but also copy the contents inside the folder. And for each one, it will recursively go through and copy it until it has no more to copy. So we want to say cp space -r space, then the folder name, so subfolder 1, and then we want to put it into, then we want to say // because now we're going to the location, and then we're going to folder 2 / and then now here's where we name it. So now we're going to name it subfolder 2 and press enter. Alright, so now if we cd space // and then folder 2 and then we ls, alright, we see subfolder 2. Okay, so if we cd in the subfolder 2, cd space subfolder 2 and ls, you see the files that were in subfolder 1 and folder 1. So that is the how you would copy over a folder. Now when you move a folder, cd // to get back. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move subfolder 2 into we're going to make a new directory, so mkdir space, and we're going to create subfolder .2.old and press enter. Alright, so now we have this folder here, and what we can do is let's say that we want to move subfolder 2 into subfolder .old. Okay, so .2.old. So what we can do is mv space, and then we type the name of the folder we want to move, subfolder, and then 2, and then space, and then the folder we want to move it into, the location, so subfolder, and then .2.old, older, and then we want to give it the name there. So we actually don't have to put the name, it will just give it the name it has if we omit this. So press enter. Alright, so if we ls, alright, so we do not see subfolder 2, we see subfolder .2.old. So let me get my focus. Yep, so older, sorry. So if we take and cd into that folder now, and we ls subfolder 2, you see it there. So when you move something like that, when you use mv, you do not have to use the recursive flag because you're cutting it out, so you're copying everything there and then bringing it over. So we're going to actually cd // and we're going to get back into folder. We're actually going to move back cd // back to Linux base, and we're going to look at our next command. Alright, and I thought it was the rm command because that's why I moved back to the root of where we started. So rm is it can be if you're not using it correctly, it can get you in trouble. So rm, first things first, is when you don't have a recycle bin, like sometimes on a server, if you're networked into a map drive, um, you don't have a recycle bin for that. You delete, it goes away. Um, well, when you use this, there's a flag -F to force it to where it does not ask you every time to delete a file. Because if you have a folder with 140 files and you don't have a recycle bin, it's going to ask you each time unless you use that -F. So we have to be safe with this. So the first way you can use it is to delete a single file. So let's cd into folder 1. And oh, it'd probably be alright if I was in the terminal, huh? So let's get over here. So we're actually going to cd into folder 1. I can get it right here. Alright, so we're in folder 1 now. Now what I want to do is delete one single file that's main.js. So I would type rm space and then the name of the file, main.js. Alright, so I hit enter and then ls, enter. Alright, so now we see it's not there no more. Now, it did not ask because now I'm still consider myself new at the Linux command line. So I believe that because it's sending it to my Windows recycling bin, that it does not ask if I'm sure that I want to do this. Now, when I'm on the server at work for my company OneSource, I get asked every time. So I use the -F whenever I'm sure that I want to delete it without being asked. So, but we're still going to use it here just to show you. So we're going to delete the index dot, what was it? Let's ls. All right, so the PHP file. So we're going to rm -F, if I can type it right, -F space. So it's rm space -F space and then the file name. Now it's index, and we're going to type, it says index.copy.php. We're going to press enter. Okay, so we're going to ls. Alright, so now we see it's gone. So, and that's the -F flag. Now I want to show you how to delete folders. So we're going to cd // back to our root where we started. Alright, so in here we're going to delete folder 1 and folder 2, but I'm actually going to go and create a folder 3. So we're going to mkdir space folder 3. Press enter. Okay. So now we have folder 1, 2, and 3. Now what I want to show you first is how to delete a folder, just one folder by itself. So we just rm, and now we're going to use space -r because we're recursive, and then dash and use this cautiously. So -F space. So right now we have mkdir, or I mean rm space -r space -F space. Now we're going to type the folder we want to delete, which is folder 1, and press enter. Okay, so it is gone. Let's ls to see. Yep, so now there's folder 3, folder 2. Now let me show you something if you don't use the -r. So we're going to rm space, and we're just going to type folder 2 and press enter. Alright, so rm cannot remove folder 2 because it is a directory. So that's why you have to use that -r. So we want a folder. Now I'm going to show you how to delete folder 2 and folder 3 at the same time. So if we type rm space -r space, and then we take and type folder 2 space and then folder 3, and then press enter. Alright, so then we ls, and folder 1, 2, and 3 are gone. So that there brings us to the end of the video. Those are 9 commands, just basic commands that you use in a Linux terminal environment. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are new here, please subscribe. And if you are already subscribed, I thank you very much for watching these videos. And on a quick note, I apologize that it's been a while. Had a few things going on, and especially with the new business. So just be patient with me, and I promise I'll have more content coming soon. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.